Indie Music Live, episode 92. Have you guys ever seen those news bloopers where they have like the Anchorman freakouts and they're all like, screw this, screw that, let's just do it before then the camera starts going? They're like,
Ron Burgundy?
JoeJoeKeys. That's how we were just before this came on. We were yelling and screaming at each other. Sayla slapped David a couple of times. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
David Werba. I have no good nickname for you tonight, but you still look weird. So how are you?
How about the Czar of Phoenix? Something, man. The fog
Czar.
machine. I mean, come on. Give me some respect here. The king of crypto? Something, man. Jeez, no respect around here. All right. So make sure you say Dave Crocco's name correctly tonight when you announce him. Or should I just do it myself?
Yeah, you can do it. You know how I like to pronounce names.
No, we got the Emmy-nominated Dave Crocco is here with us tonight with his gorgeous wife, Sayla. And they've been on the show a few times before.
Wait a minute. They're not married. I thought they were brother and sister. Wait a minute. With different last names.
They were.
There you go, Rob. Is Rob turned on tonight? All right, good. I hope people can.
I don't know. I don't want to know if Rob's turned on tonight.
Yeah. Well, he got turned on once he heard about that brother-sister situation. But that's his background. I don't know if we talked about that.
So we got Automatik Eden here, as we've been saying. They're hanging out with us. We've been having special guests the last couple of weeks, some featured artists here and there. And these guys are some of our favorites to hang out with. They're in LA, and David was just nominated for an Emmy. David, can you go into any detail about that for us?
Don't be shy, man. Be proud of it. Seriously, man. Talk about it.
I don't even really know exactly what it's for, so I'm curious myself. Just give us a quick rundown before we listen to the first tune tonight.
We do. My company does post audio, which means it mixes audio for TV and film. All the dialogue, sound effects, music. We mix all those elements and make it sound like a TV show. And I was nominated separately, but my team was nominated as well. And we were nominated in that field for the sound team for sound supervision and dialogue editor. And we went to the Emmys and we lost that to some boy band.
Oh yeah, the Beatles.
Yeah. The Beatles. I've heard of the Beatles. Yeah, it was a Ron Howard, the 8 days a week. I mean, that's what you were up against. And what's funny is after you lost, you traveled to London and Liverpool, and you were trying to find somebody to just punch in the face.
Yeah, I was trying to find one of the Beatles. They were difficult to find. I don't know.
We thought that you'd be walking around.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Good event, and glad to even be in the same category as that. I don't know if anybody's seen the 8 days a week, but I highly, Beatles fan or not, I highly recommend it. It was beautifully done, and from a sound standpoint, to hear what they did to restore those concerts was just incredible.
Cool.
Awesome.
Very cool, man.
So that's what we're doing tonight. Everybody, thanks for hanging out. I see a few familiar faces, a few people who I may know. Share this video out. Let your friends know that you're watching it with us, and it's the coolest place to be on Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock. Rob, whenever you're ready, let's listen to the first tune of the night. This is a place you guys might be familiar with there in LA. This song's LAX by We Are Bandicoot. Cool. Awesome.
Drive no car to the edge of town, to the airport. I float to LA for some winter sun. I know by New Year we'll be holding hands, drunk on red wine and beer. I know you like the sun, but sometimes the excitement is my blood. Endorphins
Say it with me, nice and silly. We are Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
LAX, which I think is an airport somewhere in LA. I don't know. Do you guys know about that, Automatik Eden?
It's a big inconvenience.
Oh, you got hives just thinking about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what everybody think of that tune? I enjoyed it. Nice upbeat. LAX. Yeah. Dave.
Which Dave? I mean, we have a problem now because there's two Daves here. All
David
right.
is David. You're Dave.
I'm Dave. All right. Way that song started off is just kind of like a jam tune, just decent rock sound. But man, I really dug this guy's vocals. I think it was unique. It reminded me of old Sting. Some of the harmonies, like it just kind of a unique tone in his voice. I think that's the highlight of this band, and I'd like to see some more maturation in the music to kind of rise up to.
Hey, watch your mouth.
How cool! What, the masturbation of the music? What's the big deal? About how cool the vocals. Like I don't know. I kind of want to see the rest of the music kind of rise up to the level that he's singing at. To me, like I don't know, just to better match. I'm not sure if that's the best match for his vocal. Like I just see it go in different directions maybe, but I've only heard this one song. So that's my opinion on this one tune, but Layla, what do you think?
I heard the Sting thing as well.
Really?
Yeah, that had stood out to me. Yeah, I mean, overall, I just thought this was a really fun track. It appealed to me a lot. I only know the one song. I was reading about them a little bit, and they kind of consider themselves a experimental alt rock, I guess. And they had a lot of different influences listed on their page, which I wasn't really hearing in this song particularly. So it made me want to hear more and get sort of the broader spectrum of what they're about. But this song I liked a lot.
I like the wah-wah solo.
Can you guys hear that voice with some different types of music? That's where I was going with this. It
sounds versatile to me.
I want to hear more of the versatility and how it could be used. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to listen to their other stuff, I think, because
super strong. So I dug the funkiness of it. It was cool, but I do hear what you're saying. I think his voice is really strong. It'd be interesting to see what else he could do with, what other music around it, what it would sound like.
Yeah.
So where are you guys tonight? Are you in your living room again?
No, we're in our post studio.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Twice on the show.
So Red Fields is sending some links out. I guess if you want to, go ahead and check that out. Welcome some people. Calamari's in the house. Thomas Ricci was in the house. Andrea Glick, Kathy, and K-Soul. Hello. Lincoln Plowman says hello, men. I don't know why he's only speaking to the men. Maybe he's a little sexist. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bobby
sexist.
Stamps is
That's
here
horrible.
drinking his beer in his picture as usual. And he's talking about Dave getting stimulated. So speaking of stimulated, Rob, time for some indie music news.
Oh, early. Got some nice positive news tonight.
Dave always forgets that the audio is live, so we don't really have much positive news tonight. It's not really a laughing matter. Obviously, in the music news realm, it's obvious what we're going to talk about. There's two major stories that have been hitting the shit fan, if you will, for the week. First one, of course, we can't deny and send out our sincerest condolences and thoughts and prayers to everybody involved in the Las Vegas thing. Totally freaking insane. I don't know. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say about this. It's just almost like I was, in a dream when I woke up and heard about it. So I don't know. You guys have been to Vegas. I've only been to Vegas for seriously overnight one time, but I can only imagine that this might actually start happening more, and we should probably be careful now as we go to concerts and I don't know, thoughts.
Dave Krako's got some good thoughts on this one.
I mean, I just don't even know what there is to say anymore. I was thinking about that. We watch watch this whole thing unfold through, you can watch it through how the late night hosts approach it, and years ago, it's just so ridiculous that they have to keep coming up with things to say about how absurd this is, and yet it continues. We've been to Vegas a whole bunch of times, and a couple of things crossed my mind. We were standing right there. I have friends that could have been there. As a matter of fact, my dentist's daughter's best friend was killed. So I was in the dental chair when that happened. And so talk about, hitting home. It's beyond words. And the fact that nothing is, even the hosts are coming on saying, well, here we are again. And, we want to say something meaningful, but is anything really going to get done? It's just, it's crazy because no other country, no other civilized country has this issue. And there are countries with, Switzerland, you used to have to, it was the law that you had to own a gun. You could be fined if you didn't own a gun. So I don't know. It's just beyond words to me. And at the same time, Joe, you mentioned about maybe being more careful. And sometimes I think about that. It's like, I don't want this to, affect how I go out and do things.
Of course. Yeah.
So again, it's like, what do you say if nobody's really willing to address this on the government level? Let's get the money out of politics, and that'd be a good start.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Yeah. Right.
It all leads back to crypto, man. I just like reading this stuff, and it's almost like the Puerto Rico situation as well. Is you watch the news cycle, and it's all about like politicizing the situations, and that's annoying for me to watch. Where it's like, I don't know, it just goes right to that, because that's front and center in the news since the past like 6 months or everything. It's like, what's the angle from a political standpoint of what's going on here? And it's just like, Jesus, it's like, there's people need help. Like, people are hurting and dying, and we're talking about like the political angle of it and who's trying to, further themselves in the midst of tragedies. And I don't know, it's just disturbing. It's hard to take in, in the middle of all of it. I don't know.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a a spot for it in the show because it is important news, and the music news isn't always just about fun and happy stuff. Unfortunately, the next story is another downer, but and one that everybody knows about. Tom Petty, of course, passed away yesterday, I believe, and there was a little bit of confusion at first on whether he was actually gone or not, but it was pretty obvious, I think, that it was going to happen soon. So sad day. I saw this guy perform a couple of times, just like as many other people have all over the world, and man, they were going over a lot of his tunes. I forget what show it was I was watching. They were going over a lot of the tunes that he had that were hits, and it was just like one after another after another after another after another. And if you don't realize it was Tom Petty, it was just like, whoa, yeah, okay. You think about it for a second, it's like, holy crap, that guy was all over the place. And 66 is so young these days, Yeah. So I believe it was probably Young Turks, I think, is what I was watching today on YouTube, and they were going through all the tunes. And that's what somebody said. They were hoping to see another 30 years of music of this guy,
Yeah.
I definitely one of the 50 best bands of all time. In my opinion, maybe higher.
Yeah.
There's just like a handful of songs that are just ingrained in me for life. You just when you hear them, it brings you back to time in the past, like college or just your life.
Garage.
Yeah, whatever it was, man. But like, they're just the harmonies, the musicianship, the songwriting is just amazing. Catchy songs, like songs that move you, and you just, once you hear them, like, makes you feel good, and yeah, it's that this is a bummer, man. Like you said, Joe, I remember interviews with him that I'm pretty sure he said he's just gonna like write until he can't walk anymore or something.
Yeah.
And I really did expect that to happen. I felt like he would be writing until he's like 85 or something.
He got cooler.
And,
Yeah, he got cooler and cooler the older he got. Which was
Yeah. Bobby Stamps
Yeah,
wants us to play one of his tunes, but unfortunately that's not possible because Facebook would kick our ass off of live right away. But yeah, Rob says, I wish we could play one of Petty's songs. Go ahead and go play one of Petty's songs there, Bobby.
True legend, dude. What a legend, man. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're gonna play. We got some more tunes. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more songs tonight to listen to. We have some more things to talk about too. Actually, I'll kind of clear the air here with a song, and then we'll come back and talk about what we got going on for the month of October as far as Indie Music Plus. We'll hear a little bit from Automatik Eden. They'll update us on what they're doing as well. Share this video out. Let us know you're still here by telling us what you think of this next song. This is the band called The Restitution and their song Swarm on Indie Music Live, episode 92. Emo Spank Dungeon Slam Pits. And that's one of Bobby Stamp's comments. I don't know what's wrong with that dude, but apparently he likes spanking dungeons and something. I don't know. Anyway, that was The Restitution with Swarm. I want to let everybody know before we move on that Dave Werba and I came up with an amazing special for October for everybody that's looking to, work with us basically. And it's double your order. I actually, Dave, while we're talking about it, let's have a business meeting real quick.
Let's do it real time. Let's have a meeting.
Graphic, I made the graphic to your words, and then I totally messed it up and put the old one on there. That's why it's messed up. But it's double your order in October, basically. So
yeah, but it's not like pay us twice as much and we'll give you half the value. No, it's like, yeah, whatever you order will actually double the results of it. Like, yeah, so if you order, whatever social promo or SoundCloud or all the other stuff that we do, whatever the order you put in, we'll double it at the same price.
Yeah,
so it's almost like 50% off in a sense, but
Restitution. I like these guys.
Yeah, this song, it was. I was like cranking up the volume to really get the full effect of it. The volume on this was much lower than most tunes that come through. So first thing that comes to mind is it was either not mastered or it wasn't mastered well, or there was something in the file that they mixed to with the final mix. we're not getting the full effect of like this performance right here, man. Like I don't know, man. It's like mastering's so important, and it was like it was a nice performance. If you crank it up all the way, you can start to hear what like the full spectrum of sound that they created here, but you shouldn't have to do that. And even when you crank it up, it's not like totally pleasant because it's so hot at that point. So the song's awesome, the performance is great. Like I love all of it, except that there's a mixing and a mastering issue here, man. Did you guys hear that, Dave? Or
I listened in headphones earlier today, and I didn't catch that, and I didn't listen to it against the other songs, so I didn't have a good reference point there. I did think that the song itself and the talent was really, really good. As a matter of fact, it's not my favorite type of music, but to me, at least this song, they really, I really believed it, and I felt that it was very honest, and the playing and the singing were really, really top notch.
This reminds me of the music I was listening to in college a lot. You know, sort of 90s alt, edgy, emo.
Yeah.
You know,
it goes back
like
a little.
Bobby Stamps is saying. Miss Layla, spouse of Emmy-nominated David Crocco.
There you go.
What do you think?
Here we're not sure.
Or sister, I'm not sure. You're from Tennessee.
Sayla, what'd you think of this one?
I don't have a great original thought for this one.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah. It's sort of the kind of prog metal genre. Maybe it's not my personal favorite, but I did think these guys did a very nice job. I thought it was legit, and I thought it was solid.
Legit's a good way to put it. Yeah, definitely. Cool graphics too.
I think I think this type of music, there became a spin-off where people were just doing it, and they were just kind of copying the sound. Like there isn't a lot of music, you know. I think what was refreshing for this is listening to the guys sing and just the arrangement of it all. It's again, I believed them, and that's a great thing to say for any music today, you know. So
there you go. Yeah, totally. All right, so moving on, we got manager Steve Kolb's in the house. Bobby Stamps is talking our ear off. Ray J, Visualize. You can check out Visualize new review on the site. Calamari still hanging out with us. Thanks so much, man. Everybody share this video out, like I always say and always will say. As we're listening to the next tune, let us know what you think. And let's see. Dave, what's the next tune?
I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, come on. You're not paying attention?
I have to open the file.
All right, well, we'll give you a second there to open up the file. So
let's just wait. Let's wait till the young mentally challenged kid can find the title. All right.
Stop talking about Rob like that.
Oh man, where are we? Leondro?
Leondro.
Hey, Leondro. Hunnit. Let's play it.
So does that have to do with Rob? Does that have to do with the thing that was just sliding? Is that why you wanted me to do that, or is it something about my wiener?
Yeah, the viewers didn't realize what just happened. Rob forced Joe to stand up, take his shirt off, and walk in a circle around the room, and nobody knows what it was for. I mean that, and he was really aggressive about it.
Yeah, I feel kind of dirty and taken advantage of, and I still don't know why. So it's kind of weird.
It felt
So Leondro, Hunnit, you made it to the show. So I mean, I felt like it was, good enough quality to make it a show. Not personally my thing, really. So I'm kind of take a pass on this one. Let's go to Layla first.
me being, the hip hop representative.
Yeah.
You know what? I dug this track. It's kind of, it makes me think of what David said just on the last round, kind of when so much is kind of derivative of everything else.
Yeah.
The nicest thing you can say is, oh, I thought he was genuine. And I did. And I do mean that as a compliment. Like I felt it was fun. It had good energy behind it. He's certainly not reinventing the wheel in any way, but I liked the spunk. I thought it was very endearing in a way.
Dave Krakow.
I thought whoever mixed it was on the ball.
Yeah.
With the effects, the mix was creative. The effects were creative. They were used tastefully, but they were used as part of the arrangement, which was great. I thought that again, we're certainly not the go-to for rap, but I thought that
that's why I had you on the show tonight. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Sorry, man.
You're from LA, right?
Yeah. But I thought it was I thought it was a creative approach to something that was commercial. I thought it was really cool.
No, I have the same thoughts. I think the production was great here. The mix is very well done. Cool vibe. I mean, like Joe said, I mean, we say this almost every week. Like this is out of like hundreds of submissions.
Mm-hmm.
We picked this one, and like sometimes more than half of the submissions are this genre of music. So like this was one of the best that's come through during the month that we chose it. But it's like I still have this question. I have it all the time. It's like, so what does he need to do to go to the next level? It's like he was able to get featured on our show, and we have a decent place in the indie music scene. So what's needed? Like, is it from a production standpoint, or is it just like we've talked about before? It's just connections,
or drive.
Like if Jay-Z was in the intro, all of a sudden he sells, 5 million copies. Like, is it because it like match this up, man? Match this up with like the top 200 in the genre. Does it stick out and be like, oh, that doesn't deserve to be there? No. I mean, it's cool. Like it yeah.
Name another rapper for me.
Lil Wayne.
Okay. I didn't think you'd be able to do it.
What are you talking about?
All right, so
we got Cool in the Gang. We got I can rail these guys.
Cool in the Gang, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when Rob was gonna get on cam and show us something really cool?
He said he was going to take his shirt. No, yeah.
Think about it.
All right, so we're hanging out. It's Indie Music Live. We're glad to be with Automatik Eden. Automatik Eden, why don't you give us a little brief update on what's going on with you two? You did a little stint in Cleveland. You had some live Facebook performances, I believe, if I remember correctly. How did all that go?
It was great. That was so good. I mean, my musical roots are in Cleveland, and we went back, and it was just so much support. I mean, I love Cleveland. I love the people there. I love the music scene there. They haven't forgotten what it is to go out and see a band and stay all night. They're into. I mean, it's like the Midwest thing, the North Shore, and people are into it, and they came out and supported. The shows were great, like the three different venues, and it really, at least it inspired me personally to just hone my craft even more, and put on a better show, write better songs, and just keep going.
Yeah, the big show we did was put on by Oh Wow Radio, and they're a streaming station out of Cleveland. And
oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh,
and
wow.
it's an awesome.
Dave, you're so funny.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
No, that's cool. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, I mean, it was founded by former program director for WMMS, which was a really groundbreaking station. in
70s and
Cleveland.
80s. It was John Gorman who broke Brian Ferry. He had a big hand in
David
breaking Bowie, and
Rush.
they broke Rush at the time. So it was kind of an honor. You know, they're big fans. It's an honor.
I've
heard of Rush.
Every time just
Heard of them.
listening to this station. So for listeners, if you like that kind of music, it's ohwownow.com is where you can get their app and everything. And,
Cool.
it's a really fun
Cool,
stuff.
guys. Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here as always. We got you a couple more times, I think, the rest of the year, and hopefully you'll be coming around every couple of months or so
Yeah.
throughout the the remainder of the time of our show, which would be like another 40 or 50 years. So
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure. I speak for everybody.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We've been getting the last few months, we've been getting a good rotation of regular guests that, we enjoy hanging out with and who have a good, rapport with us. We can talk back and forth, make some good dirty jokes, and nobody's
Weird.
like that. So
Weird.
get a little weird in the green room, So we'll continue on. We have 2 more tunes to listen to tonight, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Rob has something really funny to do. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. He's coming on
Layla
camera.
Root, King and Queens on Indie Music Live up next. Layla Roots.
Layla Root?
You can be whatever you want, whoever you into. The 7 days of your heart, or a prophet of doom. But take your life in your own hands, don't let you be rude. Be not a victim of circumstance. 2010, real kings and queens, ruling our world. We are kings and queens, ruling our world. It takes a lot of guts to run counter to the trend. Be a rocking down a bowl, breaking down a bound. Everything you ever wanted is on the other side of you. There's absolutely nobody tell you what to do but you. Real kings and queens, ruling our world. We are kings and queens, ruling our world.
Episode 92. Classic rock vibe. Total classic rock. Bobby Stamp says, Funky Town Pat Benatar. You kind of see how he would kind of come about that. But yeah, I like this one. The guitar playing's a little simple for me, in a sense, but if you think about it on the classic rock vibe, it was real simple back then too. So it's not like anything real flashy or anything like that. But then again, I'm not a guitar player, so I don't know what guitar player wants to take over.
I'll take over for a bit. I mean,
Wait, you're not a guitar player.
yeah, I only toured for 10 years as the lead guitarist, highly acclaimed
Pat
by
Benatar.
several people. Bobby Stamp's neologisms.net. I just bought that domain. I think that should be its own show. Random mutterings. He kind of has his own vibe there, but Anyway, Janis Joplin, the ghost of Janis Joplin, lives and breathes through this girl right here.
Yeah, I can see that too.
It's really raw. It's got a look like a college suburban rock, feel. Just overall, it's a little loose, little garage feel to it. But man, she's got some energy. She's got something going on there, and yeah, it's a little pitchy. It's a little loose. She kind of gets out of range sometimes, but people dig when a lead singer or even anyone in a band just like lays it all out there and just like goes nuts. I mean, it's worth seeing, and people feed off that energy. So I'm sure live, they probably have a decent following and who are rooting for them to go somewhere with this. But I would just recommend maybe some coaching on the vocals. And I'm not talking about changing her raw energy or anything. I'm talking about like at some point, even like a Janis Joplin, I'm sure she worked with someone at some point to like breathe better or to project better, or just like warm up better, so that you're not just like running on stage and just like going nuts and getting all like out of control. Because I think she could do much better with like the type of sound that she's projecting with a little assistance.
There's not much longevity in singing,
Exactly. Yeah. Like you can crush your voice if you're just like screaming without any type of, training and prep on that stuff. So
there's even a classical singer lady. I mentioned this a couple shows ago. I don't remember what her name is, but she coaches hardcore singers.
Yeah. Right. You said that before. Yeah.
So that they don't, leave the studio throwing up blood because they ripped up their vocal cords screaming, so I don't know. David.
I loved her. I thought the biggest issue with this song was the mix. You mentioned the guitars were simplistic, and I agree with that. And I think that they should go to their strength, which is the voice. And it's not bad that it's simplistic. That's fine. But the guitars are way up front and the vocals a little bit buried. And she reminds me of Bon Scott from AC/DC more than anybody else. And I'm not sure, I'd have to hear more to really see if she's singing wrong or this. I hear what you're saying, David, but that's also, I mean, if you pull out the vocal tracks of a lot of great performances and you pull them out of the mix, they're pitchy and they're weird and they're over singing and all that. A lot of times, if this could have been a whole different story if the mix would have been right. The band itself is a little loose, not in a great way. I'm not really a fan of click tracks for rock bands, but when they wandered on and off a little bit, it wasn't quite. It was getting loose and not the coolest way sometimes, but it was still all right. I think with a better mix, this would have been a whole different ball game. But they should definitely play to her because she's got something.
Yeah.
Kind of like you played a sailor, right?
Yeah, man, that's
like that transition. You like that transition?
Yeah, thanks.
Sayla's got something going on. Do you have anything to?
Oh God, thanks, dude.
Yeah, Dave and I, we just actually compared notes on this right before listening again, and I had the same thing. I thought her vocal was ferocious. I wasn't feeling, it didn't strike me as lacking technique or anything like that, but I felt like the mix was not doing her any favors. And kind of the simplistic guitar, those little licks are just very forward, very loud, and
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. The mix should never, you should never say that about the mix, that it's not doing you favors. It should only do you favors. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point.
It's funny how much, I mean, we've talked about this before, but how much that really, I mean, people that aren't familiar with the studio have no idea how you could throw up one of your favorite songs, and if the mix is off, you would hate it. You would think that the singer sucked. Right. You would think that the guitar player was off. It has so much to do. It has so much to do with the, it is the final result. If you isolate a vocalist, if you've isolated, especially in the old days before tuning and this perfection of drums where they're lining them up in Pro Tools and making them all perfect. Especially in the old days, if you listen to some of those great songs, if you solo the vocals, they get a little funky and a little weird.
Yeah.
You know? But a great mixing engineer and getting a great mix takes that quirkiness or takes that and blends it in such a way that it's exciting. And they take the very best parts. So I can't overemphasize. She's got something cool. I would go back and remix this.
Speaking of something a little funky and a little weird, Bobby Stamps just farted and then sent us a message on Facebook. So I'm not sure.
Oh, God.
He might have had an accident. I'm not sure. But so we're going to wrap up the show with one more tune. This is actually my personal favorite of the evening. This group is right up with what I love to listen to, musically speaking. Sort of a jazz funk fusion type thing. This is Inversion Circus with Trigger Hippie on Indie Music Live. Share this out. Let us know what you think in the comments. I happen to agree with it. I'm JoeJoeKeys. This is Indie Music Live 92. We're 8 away from 100. I have one of my piano students that he like catches the show every once in a while. He's a teenager, and he's like, "What are you going to do for episode 100?" So that's the question I ask you. What are we going to do for episode 100? I don't know. Maybe you have some ideas. Bobby Stamps says Commodore's Baby Malston Nice. I don't know what this
it's getting worse, dude. He's losing it
he's
throughout
losing.
the
I don't know what
show.
he's talking about. Malston Nice.
It makes less
sort of
sense throughout the show.
So these guys are great. This is I really enjoyed this tune. I love the fusion. I play keyboards, as you can see. You might not be able to see in this shot, but I have a keyboard right behind me, and I've been playing keyboards my whole life. I love to listen to thrash, death metal, but when I play music, I love to play R&B and funk, and that's like and jazz, and that's what I love. And these guys are great. Layla.
I thought this was super fun. We don't get to hear instrumentals very much.
Yeah.
I would like to mention that I really liked the name of the band on the track. But to really be able to comment on jazz fusion, it's not really in my wheelhouse to be able to teach. But personally, I really liked it.
All right, Dave, I want to see if you catch some of my thoughts. Go ahead, dude.
I mean, I liked it, and I liked the fact that it was instrumental. It didn't, for me personally, it didn't totally catch me. It wasn't super memorable. They obviously have talent, and I like the funkiness of it, but I don't know. For me personally, it didn't like take me to the next level as a song. I don't know. There's not really a memorable hook, or or anything.
Yeah, that's a decent bridge into my points, which are, like bed music for, I mean, like even like ESPN. Like, I don't know if people are like really are conscious of that as often as I am. Like the bed music on like popular like talk shows underneath, like when they're doing highlights or, sports highlights and stuff like that. Like what the? Oh, we got a nice Casio. What is that, dude?
Oh, Rob.
But dude, Rob hasn't done that in like 3 months. He hasn't thrown like a random.
I think his computer's working better now or something. I don't know. He must have updated some stuff.
No, but the Inversion Circus, the circus of inverted sound, is like bed music on popular TV shows, even like sports shows. Like this is the type of music that's behind the highlights. And that's what I often notice. I'm like, every now and then I'm like, wow, I'm like, that's pretty solid, pretty good players, but nothing that jumps out to me where it's like, wait, that's a great band. Who are they? So it's like very well done. It's solid. They're all good players.
Mhm.
It's obviously it's a jam band.
Yeah.
But so there's 2 points. It's like, one, there's a market for what they're doing.
Sure.
Like they can create music for, different types of like television, bed music and stuff. And then the other point is like, as a jam band, I'm sure, they do pretty well, but I don't know, like what's the outlook for them? That's what I would want to ask them. Like, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to be like have a fish like career and just kind of like slowly build this loyal following and just do like 20-minute songs where they just kind of go off and they all like solo and just build this whole atmosphere around the jam scene? Or it's like, what do they want to do here? Because like to be a successful jam band, you have to be incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, how many can you name that off the top of your head in the past like 30 years? It's like, oh, Fish. There's,
Great
Fish.
Fish, and then there's Fish. And there's the Grateful Dead. Oh,
Almond
Well,
Brothers.
you're not in that scene either, so really.
yeah, but
Because there is another great group called Big Ass Truck that I really loved back in the day.
Played with them.
They're
Really?
awesome, man.
Yeah, they were great.
They're so cool. They're from, I believe it's Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool, man. So like, there's a lot of good bands out there that are in the jam scene that have different takes on the jam, so to speak. And I don't even know if Big Ass Truck is doing anything anymore, but they were a buzzing name for a while, but I don't know. And there's Rat Dog and there's all these offshoots of all these other jam bands as well, and they seem to do fairly well. So I don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
Well, I mean, actually, over time, I think, bands like this will probably be more rare and more sought after, possibly just
Sure.
like as technology continues to take over, where like virtuosos of physical instruments are going to become more rare over time. Like think about like 30 years from now, it's just going to be a different scene. It's like so much is going to be like, I don't know, automated and produced and
It's already so different.
yeah.
Just real instrumentalists in general are going to be hard to come by after another 50 years, I think.
Yeah, think 50 years from now, I think it's just going to be a spectacle, just the mere fact that 5 people can master an instrument and play live.
Yeah.
Just that feat in itself. But
You're
All
breaking my
right.
heart.
So, David, sorry, go ahead.
I said, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I do what I do, is teach piano.
Nice.
So, yeah. And so anyway, Jeff Adams just walked in. I don't know if you guys know who Jeff Adams is, but he's a pretty big player in the live stream.
who doesn't? He's huge.
He's huge. I just want to say hello to him. Hopefully you heard me say that. Rob Hix has been pushing all the buttons for us tonight when he's runs the company called Hixvideo out of, what is it, Ellicott City?
Yep.
Yeah. Rob, why don't you tell us? You're just nodding. Say hello to the...
Hello, people. My throat hurts tonight. It's the truth.
All right. Anyway, so that was cool. So Automatik Eden, tell everybody where we can find you, and give us your next like couple of weeks schedule or whatever.
Well,
Grocery stores, hair appointments.
Yeah, exactly. We're playing my mom's house.
yeah.
We're playing out the 22nd in LA at a club called CIA.
Yes.
And you can find us at our website and
AutomatikEden.com. That's automatic with a K. Yeah. Interestingly enough, we just started a side project with our friends from the band 8mm. So we also have a single that we've just released.
Oh, I heard about this. It's called Behind the Velvet Curtain, right?
It's almost that good. It's called The Black Meows.
Oh,
very cool.
Oh, yeah. I like the page on Facebook.
Very cool.
I'm waiting for something special to happen.
Send us that track and we'll play it. We'll play it on an upcoming episode, or maybe next time you come back, you can remind me and we'll play it. So
right on, man.
Sure.
It's always a pleasure to be here. And by the way, Dave Werba has had a monkey on his back this whole show.
yeah, about 90 something shows.
It's a real burden, I'm telling you.
I didn't expect you to physically manifest that, Dave. We can talk about getting help later.
Yeah.
It's way beyond that. Dave, any final words?
Portlandia is no longer on television, and it's really depressing.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
All right. So it's
still reeling. I just watched the final episode of their last season about a week ago, and I've been in tears since.
Oh.
And Fred Armisen,
yeah.
There's a little Fred Armisen and Dave Crocco, if you guys remember.
We saw Fred jump up and play drums randomly at what show was that we were at in LA?
Some show.
Yeah. He just ran. He ran from the wings and jumped up on the drums and played.
And he plays pretty damn well.
He does.
Nice.
He's out there. He's at large.
Yeah, someone's got to take over that style of programming. Just something off the wall humor type of show.
Those guys are great.
I was really into that show, but anyway, that's all I have for you, Joe.
Well,
pleasure to be here tonight.
Super fun.
Thank you guys for having us as always.
Yeah, pleasure.
Pride.
Thank you. And everybody that's been watching with us all night long, thank you so much. We're here every Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm JoeJoeKeys, founder of Indie Music Plus, sitting here with my partner, David Werba, and Automatik Eden, Robert Hix, pushing the buttons and making us all look really good and fancy schmancy of Hixvideo. We're going to be here next week. We got a good show rolling up for you. I'm not sure any details off the top of my head, but it's going to be so awesome. You just don't want to miss it. So thanks a lot again for hanging out, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.